It's been called a great many things, and the vast majority of them have been negative. Buggy. Broken. A mess. A ripoff. A scam. A money grab. A failure. Some of it is deserved. Some of it remains to be seen. But despite it all, there's still one overwhelming truth at the end of the day. Love it or hate it, Fallout 76 is one of the most talked about games of 2018. And you know what? I kinda like it. Who am I? My name is Lost Prophet. I'm 41 years old, and for the better part of my life, I've been a gamer. Since the Mattel and television, I've played a huge number of games, from universally acclaimed mega classics to, yes, broken and hobbled clusterfucks that can barely be called games even by the most marginal of definitions. But you know what else? The absolute nightmare shitstorm surrounding this game also gives me reason to stop and actually be concerned. Concerned not only for the future of the Fallout franchise, but for Bethesda games as we know them overall. Let's start with the obvious. I'm not here to blow smoke up anyone's ass or gloss over any of the glaring problems with Fallout 76. Far from it, in fact. From day 2 of the PC beta, because yes, I got hit with the ultimate game-breaking bug, I've experienced pretty much every bug under the sun with this game. I saw T-posing Scorch that were supposed to be fixed with the first patch, but weren't actually fixed until the second. I still see modeling errors that turn glowing wolves into freakish giraffes, server stability issues, bugged perk cards and weapons. There's a laundry list of problems with this game that any number of YouTubers have made hundreds of videos on. But at the same time, it is improving. While Bethesda hasn't exactly been the greatest at transparency and communication with their players, what patches they have rolled out have, to some degree, improved the experience. The T-posing is gone for the most part. Load times during fast travel have been significantly reduced, at least from my perspective. Frame rate issues have become increasingly rare, even in heavy firefights or situations with a lot going on. But if things are getting better, why am I so worried? Well, in a sea of negativity, despite the unanimous voices pointing out every problem under the West Virginia sun with this game, there's something I've noticed that's just as universal as the criticism, and that's who everyone thinks is ultimately to blame. Bethesda rushed out this game. Bethesda is ripping people off with prices in the Atomic Shop. Bethesda is being secretive with their patch notes. Bethesda, 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 and still more Bethesda. It's almost fashionable to hate Bethesda game studios these days. But has anyone stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, the problem didn't start with and doesn't end with Bethesda Game Studios? Well, the School of Life 101 dictates that if there's one thing that's true, there's always a bigger fish. Yep, ZeniMax Media, Bethesda Game Studios' parent company. Here's what I think led to Fallout 76's woes. You see, ZeniMax Media is partly owned by Providence Equity Partners, LLC, a private equity firm. For those who aren't familiar, the primary function of a private equity firm is to acquire properties and turn a profit with them. The focus isn't game development, community relations, none of that. They are solely driven by profit. And what's profitable today? What game is dominating the demographic businesses covet so much? Fortnite. I think somebody in the private equity part of ZeniMax ownership said, hey, you know what? We should be getting in on that microtransaction thing. However, Bethesda, already knee-deep in the development of Starfield, a project they've spent 20+ years trying to get off the ground in one form or another, more than likely resisted, as ZeniMax more than likely demanded such a game as soon as possible. Well, they don't call private equity firms vulture capitalists for nothing. The investors are, if anything, unscrupulous. It wouldn't be above the corporate parent to threaten the development team's pet project in an effort to blackmail the game they want out of them. Do the Fortnite game, or we'll delay or even cancel your little passion project. And so, with their backs to the wall, and one developer apparently logging an active protest on a terminal in Fallout 4's Nuka World DLC, Bethesda, now with Battlecry and the resources of all ZeniMax Studios at their disposal, set out on a fool's errand. Working effectively with a gun to Starfield's head and a release date the suits wouldn't budge on because holiday shopping season, Todd Howard and company cobbled together, well, the mess we have now. Is my little theory out there? Probably. Far-fetched? Well, in this day and age, probably not so much. And I'd love nothing more than to be wrong. But this isn't over yet. Who's to blame for Fallout 76 isn't as important as... And so, here we are, at the end of 2018, and Fallout 76 is facing a very, very uncertain future. And remember what I said about vulture capitalists? Well, they have another directive. If an asset becomes toxic and starts losing money, or even not performing up to expectations, well... The Fallout 76 launch has been nothing short of an apocalypse. A clearly rushed game with more bugs than features. Ridiculously overpriced and undervalued microtransaction store. An uproar over a bag. Accidental customer data leaks, price drops, low sales figures, and a metric assload of bad press, seemingly spearheaded by YouTubers eager to circle the game's corpse in the name of clicks and views. Well, that all sounds like a toxic mixture to me. Now, it's a long shot, but what if this doesn't get better? Or what if it does, but not fast enough for the suits? They could very well begin to see BGS as a toxic asset. At that point, it's like the Wild West. Anything can happen, most of it bad. If BGS is toxic, then it becomes a target for liquidation. IPs would be sold off for cash. That includes Fallout and Elder Scrolls, not to mention Doom, Wolfenstein, Prey. The list goes on. There are 300 plus people under the BGS umbrella alone. Jobs that would be wiped out to satisfy investor paranoia over lost profits. No pun intended. Granted, it's worst case scenario, and a long shot if we're putting odds on it becoming reality. But the fact remains that yes, if the negativity surrounding this game continues to rain down like it has, if everyone continues to fire nothing but hate and vitriol at this game, this company, but I genuinely hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope Fallout 76 survives, improves, and becomes a pretty decent game. I've had a lot of fun with it these past 2 months, both solo and with friends old and new. I hate to see it die at the hands of profit margins, self-righteous view hounds, or even the ineptitude of the studio, whatever the reason. While the criticism is very much warranted in a lot of cases, we don't necessarily need an echo chamber amplifying it 1,000-fold. Sure, you may make your voices heard, and it may lead to the developers taking notice and making a game you can all be somewhat happy with. But the developers don't have final say over what's toxic and what's not. And if the toxicity of the situation gets out of control, then some of your favorite video game franchises could suffer as a result. It's time we cut back on the hate. It's time we dial back the vitriol. If we don't, it's entirely possible that Fallout 76 could be the last Fallout game, as we've come to know them, that we'll ever see again. Hey, if you're still here, thanks for watching. Rather than click like or subscribe though, I ask instead that you head on over to my Twitch page and give me a follow there. I stream fairly often, including Fallout 76, and would love for everyone to come hang out and play games together. To keep tabs on my live schedule, you can also follow me on Twitter. I'd also like to say thanks to Skullsy TV, King Fanman, Joey Caps Gaming, Lost Time Lord, Falapagoose, Geo Diablo, Adora286, Kabaneku, and the Nalver. You guys are all awesome, and thanks for having me in the community. All relevant links are in the descriptions below, so be sure to check them all out. Thanks again, stay safe, and play hard.